Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to the Red Long Walk. Still in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3, but we shall be in that version for the last time in this episode. Now, I just see the number still shuffling. I'll mention that in a minute. Most likely, I'm going to mention that in a moment if I remember to do that. Like I was going to remember to make some beds, and I forgot. Shook. He needs memory transplants. Oh my gosh, no I don't. What is that off of? Memory transplants. It's some sort of sci-fi thing that didn't end very well, isn't it? Memory transplants. Oh, I know what that's from. That's from Remember 11. Totally not a plug, by the way. Totally not a plug. Okay. I'm probably been saying something else. Wow, I've already got distracted. Hope everybody's having a good day on Monday. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. I am going to speak about the weekend because it's somewhat relevant to things I want to talk about. This weekend, I mentioned in the last episode, but this weekend was Flobathon, which is Kurt J. Maxx journey to the edge of the past version of Minecraft. This version of Minecraft, to be more precise. He is trying to walk all the way out to the far lands, which are at one, not one, 12 point something other things. I can't remember exactly the distance there, but you know, after updating to the full release version, they accidentally removed that bug, and now that no longer happens. So we are going to, once we upgrade past this version in the next episode, the Farlands will be no more, and it'll be a 30 million block destination. There's nothing going to be standing in our way except for like 40 years. Woo, 40 years. Yeah, I'm a crazy person. But anyway, Flobathon is a marathon thing that he does. After reaching his goal, he sets goals for the charity that he's chosen, Child's Play charity. He raised $50,000 in when did he start it? Last March. Not this year's March. The March before before this year. Okay, 15 months ago, 16, 15 months. He raised $50,000 in that amount of time, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Child's Play charity is a really good charity, I think. I mentioned this before, but it's probably, if I had to choose a charity to donate to a good bit to, it would be Child's Play charity, because it's helps kids in hospitals. And one of the things, I don't think he mentions it very often, but I'm sure he has mentioned it. But I remember another YouTuber that I watch. The guy's name is Patty and his Spunk. I mentioned him before, but he has an NES marathon he does every year, and he picks different charities every year. But the year right before I started watching him, and I went back and rewatched it from the future, I guess you could say. He posted the marathon. He posted it on his Ustream site. That's where he streamed it from. But he was talking about how they have a low. I can't remember the name of it, but it's where you can't have a completely You can't have a charity, that everything that goes to them, is for that charity. It costs some degree of money to run a charity, but they're a very low cost charity. There's a word for it. I can't think of it. Uh, only three. They only only 3% of it goes to the running of the charity. 97%, unless that's changed. 97% of the money goes directly to the cause. So that's a excuse me. I've had a little bit of indigestion today. Don't know why. Probably shouldn't record during times like that. Yeah, that's one thing that I really liked about it. Uh, I mean, I know folks gotta live. They can't work for free. Volunteer work don't pay the bills. But it's it's good to know that most of the money is going towards the cause, rather than a G-string that the person might be wanting to buy. Not that it's wrong to buy G-strings with your with your hard-earned money, but what I'm talking about. You may not know what I'm talking about at all. I'm not even sure I know what I'm talking about. But with that one, it's highly unlikely that anybody's buying G-strings with any of the money donated there. Somehow I think that's the point that I was trying to make, and I'm not sure if I even. You know what? Maybe I should just. Maybe that point didn't need to be proven. Perhaps I don't think anybody's ever really thought of that. So okay, wow. But anyway, yeah, that's a really good charity, and he had raised, like I said, he had raised $50,000, and this weekend he raised an additional 15,000. Very cool. It may have been a little bit more than that, or it might definitely have been more than that by now. But yeah, I watched the majority of it yesterday, Sunday. I had to work Saturday night, so boo work. Didn't get to catch much of it Saturday, but yeah, he's gonna be starting a new season. So you guys should go and check out the charity and stuff. Start them off, good if you're interested. No, I'm gonna need to be in a hospital because I just sprained my ankle like that. I will need to be able to keep myself occupied. I can read a book. So yeah, that's a really good charity, and also I can definitely agree with the thinking there. I had a pretty bad spell where I was sick when I was much younger. Not in a hospital. I wasn't in a hospital. Thank goodness. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that. My stomach troubles that I've recently been talking about. I had a bout with it when I was a kid. When I was 10 years old. Yeah, I was in the 5th grade. And one thing that did keep me somewhat reasonably sane, besides my mom, was reading. I read a buttload, and there was a time when I read a lot, and that time has passed. Don't read hardly anything at all anymore. But that's it's not just video games that charity does. It's books too. So yeah. Yeah, I thought I mentioned that. But anyway, in the next episode, we're going to be upgrading to 1.8. I thought I'd go ahead and since I missed over the weekend, I'd go ahead and what am I doing? Both. Thought I'd go ahead and finish it up in 1.7.3, one more episode, and see, to send it off, and then we'll be in the full release version very soon, where things will change quite a bit. I've enjoyed playing in the beta versions. I've never played the beta versions of Minecraft, as I've said before. It's definitely interesting. I know a lot of folks, who've been playing Minecraft a lot, for a long time. They they rather enjoy, a lot of the older versions than the current versions. And I do understand that. I know, there's been games that I went back to, after there's been changes to it, or, a sequel to a game. I'm totally drawing a blank on any examples. But, doing that, it doesn't quite feel the same, You have to continue to relearn stuff, every time you go back to it. So I can actually understand, why folks, enjoy the older versions of the game. Don't have to, get too complicated with the craft. I almost said crafting. Whoa, that's really changing the game. No crafting. Uh, yeah, the experience, the brewing, all that sort of thing. So so many different changes. Different structures, bounds, that sort of thing. There's just a ton of things that's changed, and yeah, definitely can understand it. I'm personally kind of wanting to get to the, I am wanting to get to the full release for kind of for to get to a game that I am kind of more used to it at home in, and also for the stability. I'm sure that it wasn't the game that crashed my computer back a few weeks ago. It was last week. Oh my gosh, I have such a terrible grasp of the time continuum. Uh, but I highly doubt it was the game itself. But I have had did have the game crash that one time when I kicked the bucket, which is when I moved really quickly through the 1.6s. So of course, Minecraft current version definitely has its share of bugs. It's definitely true. Boats. That's definitely something that's got bugs, but haven't had very many problems with the actual game performing, I guess you could say, as in it hasn't just it hadn't just absolutely just screwed up, in the modern version. So yeah, for that purpose too, just a more stable release. It's probably buggier. It's probably going to be worse, but who knows? We won't know till we get there. Yeah, the going to skip the, like I said, I'm going to skip the beta 1.8 and go directly to the full release 1.0. Again, for the bugs. Any bugs that popped up in the release when they added hunger and those sorts of things, that'll that will hopefully be fixed in the release. And also from what I remember reading, the audio files are weren't fully intact in the 8.1. It was like the Enderman had a sound. They had a sound, but it's not an Enderman. It was I remember reading this in the release logs. I glanced at it a couple months ago, and I can't remember what. But the Enderman had different sounds, and several of the mobs, they rechanged. Maybe it said it was. Maybe they said Enderman had zombie sounds. Actually, maybe that's what it was. Maybe. Can't remember. But anyway, yeah. Stability, hopefully, and proper audio. And I was a little worried that I was moving too fast, but we're about on schedule. We're actually a little bit behind technically because beta started in Minecraft beta period started in 1. Wait, what? Okay, I said that different or wrong. Different being incorrect. Beta started in January. This I did just look up before I started recording, and beta started in January, and the beta ended in was it July or August? Or it was 1.7.3 that got to August or July. I can't remember, July or August. Terrible memory, like I was saying earlier. So that's 7 months, and so far we've been walking for 5.5, almost 6 months. So yeah, we're actually behind schedule. 1.5 was in April or May of that year. 2011, I think it's the year. Yeah, that's right. And so in the upgrades or updates that we've done, we've actually, went 3.5 months. It's in 5.5 months time. So yeah, that doesn't make a bit of sense what I was saying, did it? Yeah, I don't. Maybe that made sense. I hope it did anyway. And we'll go with 1.0 till the end of the year. 1.1, I was looking at the dates, was just 2 months after that. So after the original, didn't change very much. So that might be, we might jump to that a little bit before the end of the year, but for now, I'm not going to. I'm just going to pretty much say till the end of the year, 1.8. Another thing that is going to allow us to do is hop out of our boat and stand on it, apparently. One thing that's going to let us do is possibly have guests. Because, there's no... Because I'm not really sure how to set up a Minecraft beta server. I'm sure there's a way, but I know I do know how to set up full release servers. I think a couple weeks ago we did a dropper mount. Me, Tonic, Biz, and Brandon. we got together and did a dropper mount, and it was dropper 2, I think, and it didn't work right in 1.8. It was very laggy, and some redstone just didn't work. So we wound up having to play it in 1.5 on a server, and we couldn't get it to quite work properly, except to set up one on my computer. And that would actually be the best way to do this. And I just saw the server jars for the beta, but they had the multiplayer jars. I could use a little bit more wool. The multiplayer server jars for the release version. I think all of them. Definitely 1.5. I think it was all the release versions. Maybe they started 1.3. This is probably information I should check before talking about it. Spoiler alert: you shouldn't come to me for reliable information. You should come to my channel to listen to the ravings of a madman and listen to kind of touching music as a madman rambles on about things of lunacy. So yeah, that pretty much sums everything up on my channel. Lunacy. Yeah, of course you guys can let me know what you think about guests. Would that be something you'd want? It wouldn't be very often, maybe a couple times a month. Just the gatekeepers or other YouTube folks that I happen to know that would be interested in it. So yeah, let me know what you think. Whee! Because yeah, hosting, oh my, this this world is huge. I haven't even thought to check it lately, how big it is. I just know it takes longer to copy and paste it every time. We can actually look at it right now because I did want to show you something. Happy birthday, Notch! Whee! Happy birthday, Notch! Yeah, it's June the 1st right now, and it's almost 2 gigs big. This file is, and uploading and downloading 2 gigabyte file, and then it'll continue to grow to 3 gigs, 4 gigs, 10 gigs, 20 gigs. Of course, by the time it's 20 gigs, who knows? Maybe there'll be like super duper internet, like terabyte speeds internet. Want to download 1 terabyte at a time? Sure, go for it. Grand Theft Auto 6. It's 80 terabytes big. By the way, yeah, that besides me kind of not having a lot of interest in Grand Theft Auto 5, or Grand Theft Auto series in general. Wow, 70 gigs. That's amazing. But yeah, there's been a lot of games like that I've seen. That's irrelevant. I jumped the topic there. But yeah. So yeah, you guys can let me know about the guest situation. Would that be something you would want to see? Let's go ahead and make some more boats, and one more boat, because I go with 2. Wait, actually, oh my. Uh-oh. Time for the out in the middle of the ocean sleeping place. Cause why not? Why not? Just don't crash the boat there. Before we go, I want to find some more trees. Yeah, okay, there's some birch over there. I do need some more wood. So I'm gonna chop some trees. And this is something that I'm pretty sure is gonna be changed in the next video. Take out the axe. Oh, I'm getting wood for the first time. Whoa. Oh no! Oh. I was out of control again. Yeah, look. Birch wood is just wood. Is there spruce somewhere? I don't think there is. But you know what? We're going to go over here. Whoo! Ow! Ow! And go over here, hang with the sheep. We're gonna get them naked because that's what we do with sheep. Apparently, it's just how we roll. And we're gonna end this episode. I believe I have said everything that I was wanting to. Oh yeah, there is one thing I mentioned earlier about you see the numbers changing there, and as I stay still, they continue to do that. I move, and the decimals all move. Kurt said he noticed that. I actually loaded up another world in this version of the game, and it does that there at spawn. It has nothing to do with how far. I don't think it does anyway. So yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. Pretty interesting thing there. We've traveled 277,574, almost at 300,000 blocks. Let's take a gander at this. It is definitely inaccurate. It's definitely hanging off the thing. Now now one thing I'm definitely curious about is how this will be in the full release of the game. Yeah, definitely hanging off there. It's hanging off. Yeah, not nearly as much as it is, in Farlands Bust, at way past 2 million blocks. But if we kept walking, that would definitely continue to be different, and it would jitter, especially when we go diagonally, which might just be barely noticeable right now. So yeah, one thing that I'm definitely curious about is, will that be the case in the next episode when we go to full release? That's another thing that I'm having fun with this series, is just the learning how things evolved with Minecraft. How did things change, from one version to the other? We're going to be having a combat update very soon, or somewhat soon. The combat update is happening anyway. And that looks like that's just adding a whole lot. 1.8 added a whole lot. 1.7 added a whole lot. We're getting to see things slowly but surely become the Minecrafts that we know today, for good or for ill, for some folks. But that's fun. That's fun. That sums it up. That's fun. Okay, wow, Shook, you are so eloquent with your usage of the English language. Anyway, guys, I do sincerely hope you guys enjoyed, and I don't know why I said guys, even the third time there. And I will see you in the next one once we're fully released. See you then.